News this morning, Anambra State government reassures farmers of support. Anambra State Environment Ministry intensifies awareness on all Anambra Community Plastic Pickup Challenge. Federal government warns against abuse of elderly persons as India's minister's house is set ablaze in Manipur. Hello, beautiful morning to you and welcome to Breakfast News on ABS Television. I am David Opokwasele. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Anambra State government has flagged off this year's farming season and assured to keep supporting farmers in the state for food sufficiency. The 2023 farming season flag-off, which took place at Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka, with the theme Biological Farming National Sustainability Solution, attracted farmers from the 21 local government areas of the state who displayed various crops and seedlings for sales during the event. Our government house correspondent, Emmanuel Okonkwo, tells us more.
Performing the function, Governor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by his deputy Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, restated the commitment of his administration towards assisting farmers in the state for food sufficiency, saying that agriculture remains one of the strong pillars of his government because of the enormous benefits, including food security, job creation, boosting of the economy, and as well lifting people out of poverty. He noted that the distribution of 1 million coconut and palm seedlings per year initiative of his administration is aimed at making palm oil and coconut the new crude oil in the state, expressing hope that through the initiative, crime and criminality will be eliminated in the state as the youths and unemployed citizens will be gainfully engaged in agriculture and other sectors of the state's economy.
We are committed to constructing flood-proof schools and storage bases in flood-prone areas, ensuring the safety and security of our people. We stand with those affected, and our resolve to build a resilient state remains unwavering. In fact, the state government, in collaboration with NEMA and SEMA, is currently working out a major intervention by way of free agricultural inputs for our farmers, and this should be rolled out soon. Today, as we embark on this agricultural journey, I call upon the people of Anambra State to join hands and embrace the power of agriculture. Let us cultivate the seeds of change, nurture our lands, and reap the fruits of prosperity.
In an address, the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Mr. Foster Ihejiofo, explained that biological farming is not just environmentally friendly, but also economically beneficial to farmers as it reduces the cost of inputs while improving soil health, plants health, nutrient, crop yield, animal and human health, hence the need for farmers to key into the system.
As we all know, farming is not just about producing food. It's about preserving our environment and ensuring the sustainability of our food systems. And the Minister of Agriculture, under the visionary leadership of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, today is telling the world that biological farming is indeed the key to sustainability in every faculty and every department of life on earth.
In an interview, the Deputy Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly, Honorable Chukwuma Okoye, said that the Anambra, especially the youths, should embrace agriculture this time that the oil value has continued to depreciate. So according to him, agriculture is the only solution to the present economic crunch being experienced by Nigeria and other countries of the world. In separate interviews, the traditional ruler of our Abacha community, Igwe Godwin Mabunwanne Odiegu, and his Owelezu Kala counterpart, Igwe Thomas Obonnaya, rated the governor's interest and efforts in the agricultural sector high and encouraged him to do more in repositioning the economy of the state. From Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra have been called upon to participate actively in the ongoing All Anambra Community Plastic Pickup Challenge going on simultaneously in all the 179 communities of the state. The Anambra State Commissioner for Environment, Engineer Felix Odimegwu, made the call in Oka during a sensitization exercise embarked upon by the ministry to sensitize the people on the need for individual involvement in the challenge. Correspondent Ngozi Obile covered the exercise and now reports.
The sensitization exercise kicked off from the Jerome Udodi Secretariat through Aroma to Unizik Junction, Ekweme Square, and back to the Secretariat. The team, led by the Commissioner Engineer Odumegwu, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry Mrs. Ngozi Iluno, and other directors took to the streets, picking plastic bottles, including sachet water nylon, from the drainages, and sensitizing the public on the need to ensure that drainages in front of their buildings are clean to allow free flow of flood water. Speaking on the development, Engineer Odumegwu said that the sensitization became necessary because of the importance Governor Chukwuma Soludo places on clean and green environment. Engineer Odumegwu reiterated that plastic is a major challenge to a healthy environment. No wonder the theme of this year's World Environmental Day, Solution to Plastic Challenge. He urged everyone to key into the All Anambra Community Plastic Pickup Challenge to either win a prize as the best in collection of the highest number of plastics or as the best in cleanliness under the three categories of urban, semi-urban, and rural communities. The commissioner said that his ministry is partnering with many recycling companies to take the plastics from individuals who pick and bring the plastics to them and pay them a certain amount of money immediately.
What we are doing is in line with the governor's manifesto of giving Anambra State a clean and a green look. And we are involving the people in doing this. And involving the people makes it will make it sustainable.
On her part, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mrs. Iluno, said the ministry has been proactive in achieving Governor Soludo's vision of clean and green Anambra State, which he engineered by flagging off the silting of drainages when he assumed office. Mrs. Iluno added that the ministry has concluded plans to arrest and prosecute any individual whose drainage is filled with sand and debris, which will start as soon as they bring out notice on that, as they are working in conjunction with lawyers from Ministry of Justice to effect the desired behavioral change in Anambra.
I can proudly say that the Ministry of Environment has been very proactive in implementing the visions of Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, to achieve a clean, green, and sustainable Anambra State.
The Director of Environmental Health and Pollution Control in the ministry, Mrs. Oluchi Nwankwo, explained that picking up plastics is now a business on its own in Anambra, as every plastic picker earns money from each plastic, noting that removing plastics from drainage channels helps in erosion control and keeps the environment clean at all times.
I want to sensitize the populace about our own little way, what we can be doing to keep our environment clean. We shouldn't be waiting for government to do everything for us.
In Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, AIRS, has arrested the coordinator of Money Point POS in charge of Anambra State, Mr. Ndubisi Anade, over alleged financial misappropriation and removal of the state government payment system. Amaka Chibuzo Koye has details.
The Executive Director of the service in charge of operations and other revenues, Dr. Christian Madbuko, disclosed this in Oka after the arrest following series of complaints that taxes paid into government coffers by Ndi Anambra do not reflect at the state government's central system. Dr. Madbuko disclosed that about 1,200 taxes paid through Money Point are being diverted, adding that the bank removed the government payment system without without any notification. Dr. Madbuko further said that he will be charged to court and if found guilty will face the full wrath of the law.
We were receiving complaints of people paying their money, their taxes, but those taxes are not reflected in the state government and central system. So we have to charge him to court to explain the financial rascality we have witnessed. If he is guilty, then the law will prevail.
On his part, the Money Point coordinator, Mr. Ndubisi Anade, said the company received several notifications that payment made by taxpayers do not reflect in the government account, stating that it was a glitch in the system whereby transactions will hit the Money Point platform but will not reflect at the central processing system.
It was being brought to our notice that there are some of our business owners out there that after taxpayers made their payments, it doesn't reflect. That's what we call CPS. So we were notified about that, and all the payment that has actually been made in Anambra State through AIGR, none of them, all of them hit our own system.
When questioned about removal of the government's payment system, the Money Point coordinator accepted that they removed it without due notification to the government, regretting that it was removed due to the huge loss recorded by their business owners. He said the company is working to resolve all pending issues. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Members of the burial committee of the Diocese of Awka Anglican Communion have paid a courtesy call on the managing director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Sachido Bide, seeking collaboration with the organization ahead of the burial of the late Most Reverend Maxwell Anipwenwa. Members of the diocese, members of the committee were led on the visit by their chairman, Dr. Emma Ezenwaji. Blessing Dennis has the details.
The program of the burial arrangement is scheduled to hold from 25th June to 29th, 2023. Anipwenwa, a former dean, Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, died at the age of 83 and will be laid to rest on the 29th June 2023. In his speech, Mr. Ezenwaji said that Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion has been thrown into mourning following the death of Archbishop Anipwenwa, adding that he left many legacies during his service to God and humanity. Mr. Ezenwaji said that the essence of the visit was to solicit support of ABS ahead of the burial, describing the late Archbishop as a spiritual man of God who has impacted many lives positively in the Anglican Communion and other denominations.
The essence of the visit is to acquaint the station with the preparations for the burial of the late Archbishop, and then to solicit the support of the station. The man is what we call an ecumenical bishop. He doesn't have demarcation between Anglican and other denominations.
Also speaking, Venerable David Ezobi said that the late Anipwe loves ABS very much and has supported the organization while he was alive, and described ABS as the heartbeat of the East that disseminates information to the grassroots, and appealed to the organization to feature the program as it starts from the service of songs to the interment. Responding, Sachido said that the late Anipwenwa's legacies in the Church of Christ and in general, and the Anglican Church in particular, cannot be overemphasized, regretting that the demise of the late Archbishop has left a big vacuum in the hearts of Christians, and described him as a father to all, a man of honor, and episcopacy among numerous qualities. The ABS boss assured the committee of full coverage of the burial ceremony, even as he prayed God to grant his soul eternal repose in his bosom.
It will be an honor for us in ABS to be part of the funeral rites and passage. He was father to all, an Anglican. I think he has his episcopal approach, very well-meaning. And even beyond the shores, beyond the Igbo land, should be part of this funeral, because he's a man that deserves honor.
On his part, the diocesan chairman on protocol, Sir Sonny Okoye, expressed happiness with the outcome of the visit and appreciated Sir Chido for his kind gesture.
He's a man with large hearts. For him to have said it, of course, that means the state government is being committed, and we appreciate actually.
From ABS Corporate Headquarters in Oka, Blessing Dennis for ABS News.
United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has called for promotion of digital learning platforms to increase access to quality education for children in Nigeria. In a statement to mark the Day of the African Child, UNICEF called on government and other stakeholders to exploit the opportunities offered by digitalization for learning and development of Nigerian children. We bring you the details.
The statement pointed out that theme of this year's Day of the African Child, the rise of the child in the digital environment, offers the opportunity to advocate for digital inclusiveness for all children and the right of every child to participate in the digital space, especially as the education sector in Nigeria faces many challenges, including lack of access to quality learning, which is pointed out is inhibited by low domestic spending on education, resulting in limited school infrastructure and qualified teachers, high levels of poverty, and social norms not supportive of education, especially for girls. It explained that the bridge, the access to quality learning opportunities, UNICEF and the Federal Ministry of Education launched the Nigerian Learning Passport (NLP) last year, which is an online, mobile and offline digital learning platform powered by Microsoft that enables continuous access to 15,000 curriculum-aligned learning and training materials for local languages for learners, teachers and parents to adopt easily and quickly as their learning management system in school for homework support and to ensure continuity of learning when schools are closed in emergency contexts. According to the statement, UNICEF has equally provided 780 schools in hard-to-reach areas and rural schools with 13,500 tablets, 1,000 smart rechargeable projectors, and 780 Airtel internet routers, while connectivity has been enabled for 186 schools through a partnership with IHS Towers and data costs removed through the whitelisting of the NLP on an Airtel SIM card. In his remarks, the UNICEF representative in Nigeria, Christian Mundoante, urged all stakeholders in the education sector to adopt and scale up the Nigerian Learning Passport to reduce the number of children not receiving any education in Nigeria and improve foundational literacy and numeracy.
Ensure the protection of the rights of all the persons in the society, the National Senior Citizens Center, NSCC, has said it will begin to feature out abusers and violators of senior citizens in the country. In a message to mark this year's World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, the center warned that anyone caught violating or abusing older persons who are part of the most vulnerable in the society would face the law and be punished. The statement signed by the head Corporate Affairs, Media and Communications, Omini Oden, noted that the center has taken steps to eradicate the abuse and violation of rights of older persons in Nigeria through its anti-elder abuse and community response mechanisms. It noted that the theme for this year's celebration, Closing the Circle, addressing gender-based violence in older age policy, law and evidence-based response, aims at awareness creation on cultural, social, economic, and demographic issues that foster elder abuse and neglect, as well as to voice out opposition against abuse of human rights of older persons. On the foreign scene, a federal Indian minister's house has been set on fire by a mob in the remote northeastern state of Manipur, which has been hit by clashes between members of rival ethnic groups for more than a month, officials have said. Junior Foreign Minister R.K. Ranjan Singh's office on Friday confirmed that a mob vandalized and set fire to his house in the Manipur capital, Imphal. saying he's a federal minister in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party BJP also governs the state of Manipur. The attack comes after weeks of violent clashes between members of the mainly Christian Kuki ethnic group, who mostly live in the hills, and Hindu-majority Métis, the dominant community in the lowlands of the state. Clashes between the two communities erupted on May 3, caused by resentment over economic benefits and quotas for easy access to government jobs and education reserved for the Kukis. Métis account of half of Manipur's population, and extending the limited affirmative action quotas to them would mean they would get a greater share in education and government jobs reserved for Kukis and others. Civil society organizations from the Métis and Kuki communities said hundreds of people from their communities were injured and rendered homeless. In sports, Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum has released a squad of 23 players to prosecute the Women's World Cup set to begin in Australia and New Zealand from July 20. The list consists of portable names like Barcelona forward Ashishat Oshoala, Rashidat Ajibade of Atletico Madrid, and Onomebi, who will be making a record appearance at the Mundial. Nigeria is in Group B alongside co-hosts Australia, Canada, and the Republic of Ireland. They opened their campaign against Canada on July 21. Goalkeepers include Chiamaka Nnadozie of Paris FC, France, Tochukwu Oluehi of Hakaguku Sport FC, Turkey, and Yewande Balogun of AS Saint-Etienne of France. Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Television Oka. You can follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV or log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points. Again, we told you that Anambra State government has reassured farmers of support as it marks the 2023 farming season. Anambra State Ministry of Environment has intensified awareness on all Anambra plastic pickup challenge. We also told you that the federal government has warned against abuse of elderly persons as India's minister's house has been set ablaze in Manipur. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. I am David Okwasile. The Weekend Show continues right after now. Stay with us.